Hello and welcome to VMTV Vaults. My name is Kyle Diamond. My guest for this episode is one of the most talked about fighters of the week after Cage Warriors 136, where he delivered one of the knockouts of the year guaranteed. I'm of course talking about Manny Black Death Akpan, who beat Connor Hitchens at the weekend with an incredible spin kick that is my front runner for the knockout of the year in MMA so far. He thankfully took some time out of a nice little trip away in Italy to catch up with us after Cage Warriors 136. It's not as nice here in the UK, but not all of us can land spin kicks the way that Manny Akpan can, so not all of us deserve to be in Italy on a Wednesday. Without further ado, Mr. Manny Akpan. Manny, we've got to start. I mean, the obvious place to start, that last fight. What has the reaction been like to that knockout?
It's been mad, yeah, it's just been mad. Like, I seen it. It's been shared on like all these different MMA outlets and that, like ESPN, MMA Junkie, like shared on all these big outlets and that. It's been crazy. So yeah, that's what I always wanted to do. I always want oh shit.
There you go.
Yeah, it's what I always want to. I always want to do. I always want to have like memorable finishes. And yeah, like that was one of the most memorable ones. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, like earlier, I was looking to pull up your record and just typed your name into Google, and yeah, instantly you get like 3 or 4 things, like you said, ESPN, MMA Junkie, like the big places, and they're like, watch this viral knockout. Like, so
the thing is though, like I don't think that's the best knockout. Like the Ben Ellis one, like from last year, I think that was a better knockout because it just looked cleaner in that, but. I suppose it's from like the way he reacts in it, like the way he falls down head first in it. So maybe that's what makes it more viral.
yeah, I suppose so. Like, I went back and watched the Ben Ellis fight earlier, and the head kick itself is so clean. I suppose it's just because Ben stayed in there for a bit longer. You know, like what was it, like one follow-up shot that you landed against Connor, and that was it after the kick. So
yeah.
you know, I suppose, but I mean, both absolutely insane. Where does that creativity come from? Because your style is so distinctive. From the first time someone watches you fight, they remember how you fight. Like, has that come over time, or did it just kind of come naturally to you?
It's come. I think I don't know. It's a combination of a couple of things because I remember when I was like 7 year old or something. I got a PlayStation. Like me and my brothers and sisters, we got a PlayStation, and the only game, mum just bought us one game, obviously. Like, the only game that we had was that Tekken game, and we just used to play that religiously, like through our holidays and all that. We used to play that religiously. So, and that was like before I got into any like MMA, anything like that. So, like, I always just watched that and just played that, and maybe that's what's had a little influence on the style, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Do you know what's funny? As soon as you said that you only had the one game, I knew you were going to say Tekken, because everyone played as Eddie Gordo so they could do the spins. Like, I feel like it's become such a thing for like our generation. Like, I can talk to anybody about Tekken and they know exactly what I'm going to say. The spin, like that
Yeah.
flashy style. Like, is that something that, so maybe that came sort of like it just like naturally that's what you moved towards, but like when it comes to being in the gym and stuff, it's difficult with that kind of thing because you don't want to end up giving away a bad position. So how much do you work on those kind of things, or do you just let it happen in the fight?
Yeah, it comes to me. It just comes to me like throughout training camps. We just drill a lot of things, drill a lot of positions, a lot of different situations and that. And yeah, it just comes through to me through creativity and that. So I drill it a lot, and I drill things like you know, um, getting out of bad positions, like getting out of having your back taken, getting out of mounts and all that type of stuff. Like I drill all that stuff a lot too. So it's like my insurance policy on that type of stuff because it is it's high risk, high reward and that. So yeah.
One of the things I saw you say after the fight was about how when you hit him early on, you knew that it would be there. You just had to wait for the time and the space to come.
Yeah.
How did you feel like the fight was going up until that point?
It was going back and forth. Like I knew if I kept it on the feet, I knew I could catch him. Like as soon as like I got into the fight, I just seen the way he was, the way he stood and stuff like that. I knew I could hit him. but it was going back and forth a lot. I mounted him like fairly quick. I got a bit too excited, let him escape and stuff. So it was back and forth. It was back and forth, but that's how I like to operate. I like to operate in that type of chaos. So from there, you have openings for like spinning kicks, jumping kicks, all that type of stuff. So yeah, it was going very back and forth, but I knew all I needed was just to get some space and just find the target, take him out.
Yeah, I mean, like looking down your record, to have already fought at this point Conor, that was, on paper, such a great fight for UK MMA,
yeah.
but also Ben Ellis and Liam Malloy, like these guys. But it seems that you managed to pull it off, like those crazy kicks and stuff against guys that are in a similar position to yourself, where they're on the come up. So I suppose you have to find that time to land it in the fight, right? You have to be so calculated about when you can go for those kind of things. But to land it in this fight and the Ben Ellis fight, it has become a signature move now, where people are going to tune in because they're going to be like, this guy's spinning kicks are nasty. Like, I suppose, does it come with... I know that you always want to deliver the most exciting fight you can and put on a show. Yeah. But does that come with any pressure of like, you have to be this exciting guy instead of just trying to get the win?
Not really. I'm not really. That's the thing. It's more about myself. Like, it's more, I'm trying to put on fights that I want to look back and be like, yeah, that was a sick fight. That was. So when I'm 60-year-old and got CTE and all that and speaking funny, I can go to my kids, yeah, watch this. And so this was your dad back in the day, and that, like, it's just, there's no pressure from anyone else really. It's more from myself, because I always want to have a fight I can look back at and be like, yeah, that was a great performance, or I landed this and it took him out, and that, like, it's more pressure from myself.
There was some incredible finishes on that card in general, like the prelim.
Yeah, I know. I must have started something. I must have sparked something off. Like, just got everyone inspired in the back, like, because everyone came out and with first round finishes and stuff and big knockouts and that. So yeah,
it was absolutely mental. Obviously the thing that they've been doing with Cage Warriors lately is giving away the bonuses for one for the prelim, one for the main card. Am I right in saying you didn't get one of them, right?
Nah, you know what it was, because I missed the weight. Obviously, I didn't. He didn't put out a real statement before they announced this bonus. He just said, yeah, there's a bonus on the top of the bottom of the card. Like, he didn't put out the rules like, oh, you've got to make weight and all this and that. But yeah, it's, what is it? He was paying it in crypto or something. So
yeah.
So yeah, it's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Yeah, because I remember they said, I think Brad specifically said, we can't give it to someone who missed weight, so these are the bonuses. So I thought that instantly made me think that must be what it was. How much did you miss by? Yeah. Was it close anyway?
It was £2.
Do you think if you had known, I know that it's hindsight and stuff, but if you had known that you would have had to make that for the bonus, was it close enough to where like
no, we missed the time limit. That's what it was.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, we missed the time limit. It was just a load of madness, like in the lead. So we missed the time limit. So yeah,
just fair enough.
It was.
I mean, it's a bit crazy with the changing of opponent anyway. Like I was looking at the card before it was changed, and obviously like seeing your name and being like, oh, that'll be a good one. But then they managed to get Conor in as a replacement opponent, which is like, that fight is so much better than the previous fight that you had. Like, that's a huge jump up.
Yeah, he was. He said that. I think it was like a week out, because what happened in the previous fight as well. I think it was meant to be in October, end of September. I was meant to fight Scott Pedersen, and similar thing happened. It was like, well, that was the week of the fight. This was the week before the fight. He was like, oh, Mains is out. How do you feel about fighting Hitchens? I was like, go on, let's do it. I was like, even better opponents now. And he was set to be on the card anyway. Like, he was set to be on the card anyway. Like, so he was training and stuff. So I knew he was ready. So I just thought, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. We'll end by talking about SBG Manchester, one of the gyms that have got really good stable at the moment of guys who have been there, done it, and then guys like yourself who are next in line for that sort of stuff. Like, it was great, even just to see Jack Cartwright in your corner. Like, always great to see him in and around Cage Warriors. So what's that like to have a guy like that who's been there, done it, literally got the t-shirt? Like, that must be invaluable.
Yeah, it's really good. He's a really good training partner, coach, friend. Like he's like he's just there, just telling me these things in the back. I'm not like just going, oh yeah, just walk him on stuff, and you can line these things up for days. Like just telling me that, just keeping me knowing that. Like just before he was going out to get going out to the ring and that. Like it was, yeah, it's a great asset to have in my corner, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, mate, if there's any clip of any fight I've ever seen that defines Violent Money more than that spin, I've yet to see it. I mean, I think the UK has been kind of leading the way for the best knockout of the year so far with the Molly McCann spinning elbow, which I'm sure is still going to be up there by the end of the year. But the way that everyone has reacted to this, it wasn't just Cage Warriors making it go big, like you said, like ESPN put it up on their YouTube. Like, that's crazy, mate. So fingers crossed we get you back in there soon. Do you know, I know that it's not long after the fight, but do you have a time frame in your head of how many fights you want to get in there?
Yeah, definitely this year I want to fight a couple times. It was semi-slow last year, just with the opponent pulling out and just not as many shows going on. So yeah, I definitely want to fight like 3-4 times this year. So yeah, I'm ready to get back in. Well, to get back from back on Friday once I'm back to England and just back training, getting ready for the next one.
Sweet, mate. Thank you so much for taking some time out, even though you're out and away in sunny Italy, mate. I wish I was there as well. But congrats on the win, mate. Absolutely incredible. And can't wait to see you back in there. Cheers for the time.
Nice one. Thank you.
Sweet.
No worries.
Cheers, mate. Catch you in a
Bye.
bit. Thank you for checking out this episode of VMTV Vaults with myself and, of course, the Black Death, Mr. Manny Akpan. If you haven't seen that knockout, just go on social media and hit refresh, and I'm sure you'll see it within a couple of tweets because it has been everywhere lately. Can't wait to see Manny back in the cage, man. The momentum he is going to bring is going to be absolutely incredible. Hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode of VMTV Vaults, and I will catch you on the next one, guys, in a bit.